Hello and welcome to vlog part 10. This week I'm interviewing a beautiful soul I met on Christmas Day. Her name is Andrea, and we spent time in the botanical garden and I asked her a few questions. I apologize for the sound quality. I'm hoping to upgrade my equipment, but it was a wonderful conversation and I hope you enjoy what she had to say.
And take one.
Thank you, Andrea, for joining me today on my vlog.
Yes, thank you for having me.
We're in the botanical gardens in Hanoi.
Yeah.
And we met on Christmas Day.
Yes.
So we connected because I was talking about my project FaceConscious.
Yes.
And you said you resonated with a lot of things that I was saying.
Yes.
And so I really wanted to talk to you a bit more and to understand more where you were coming from, what you felt about self-expression.
Yes.
So my first question to you is, what ways in your life do you express yourself?
I express myself in art. So for me, that is dancing a lot. I love to dance. So like any sort of like movement. I love to paint too. More like intuitive painting. I don't know. Have you ever heard of that before?
I think that might be something that I'm doing, but I haven't looked up the definition.
Yeah. So intuitive painting, to me, I was first introduced in Philadelphia. You just start with like a blank canvas and you just start painting and you kind of see what comes out of that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I started doing.
Exactly, yeah.
Great.
Which I think is the most beautiful thing to me, because it's just, you literally don't have like any expectations or really any kind of end result. I'm in the moment and just kind of following what I want with like no holding back.
Why do you find it important to express yourself? What does it do for you?
It frees me in a sense of aligning with your own like person. So it frees me in that sense and empowers me as well. When I'm doing art or something that I'm passionate about, it just solidifies my being. Yeah.
That's a great answer.
It's quite, Thank you. It's just beautiful and I think really important.
What impact do you think expressing yourself has on people around you or the world?
We mentioned before at Christmas, living authentically. I think when you live authentically, you do that by expressing yourself and you're lined up with yourself and you're lit up. You can shine that light on other people around you. And if you're lit up and you're in your own little community and you're shining around the people that you care for, that person starts to be lit up and then they shine their way, and then they're lit up. And then eventually lights are everywhere. That's the impact one can have living from their heart. But I think that's a really hard thing to do, or I've been struggling with that. It's a hard place to get to when you think you should be living in a different kind of way. I think naturally when we're born, or just as humans in general, we are expressive. That we are all artists. It just does come out in different ways. Like I think every single person here can create in a way and express. It just might look differently.
What advice would you give other people who are looking to express themselves, or at least to start thinking about trying to find what their heart's passion is?
Take risks. Get out of your comfort zone. Travel if you can. Traveling is like a great way to find what you're passionate about too. Definitely be open-minded and try to find some sort of awareness. And question things too. Question even your own beliefs too. If you think that you can't do something, then I say try it, because you really were highly capable, like humans, like super capable. Just take a step back, and when you think that you can't do something, just try it.
Thank you so much for joining me. I'm really happy to have you
Me too.
on my vlog.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Yeah, like, can I give you a hug?
Yes!
Yay! Thank you. This was lovely. I'm just really grateful for this opportunity to talk to you and just meeting you in general. I think we're mirrors for each other, everyone. And even if it's like bad things or things that you don't necessarily want to confront within yourself, I think when someone is living from their heart or authentically, for me what I've experienced is it gives me permission to take down those walls and just live what my heart desires. Definitely, I saw that with you going after, staying true to who you are. I'm just really grateful for that because it's inspiring.
Bye!
Bye-bye!
So this week, as I keep mentioning in my former vlogs, I was part of an art battle, and that event happened on Sunday. It was a nice event. There were 4 of us competing, and Kevin, that we met in my last vlog, he was one of the painters as well. It was a little bit of fun as artists to get together, and that was really nice. I did, however, feel kind of stressed because I had 1 hour to create an art piece. I had no idea what I was going to create. I wanted to do this sort of intuitive painting, but feeling stressed and not being able to relax, I didn't feel I could fully express myself as I normally do. In those kind of situations, I would tell myself just to relax and take a step back and move into the painting. But in this case, I didn't really have that opportunity. And I think because of that, I actually learned a lot that day. And it was really nice seeing how the other artists created. I actually wish I could have been able to watch the other artists create their paintings. I think I would have learned even more if that happened. So next art battle, I'm really looking forward to being one of the audience. We were fortunate enough to have a really good photographer for the event, and I'd like to credit An Nguyen Photography for taking the photographs for us. Local artist Viet was the winner of the art battle, and he actually uses oils, and I guess that really inspired me because I went home that night and started using oils. The reason it's significant for me is that I've carried oils with me consistently for the past 9 years. I remember buying them when I first started painting, and I always had them with me, and I always wanted to try painting with oils, and for some reason I didn't. But I found it really holds an aesthetic that I felt my other paintings were lacking, were missing. And so I hope that this will be a new chapter for me, and I'll keep going and see what happens. I'll get back to the oil paintings in a little bit. So this is a live painting that I created for the art battle, and at the time maybe I didn't feel like I did as well as I could have, but afterwards I have this awful curse of falling in love with my paintings. And I do love the way the paint has moved on here with the palette knife, and how it's quite thick. As I paint my pieces, it's really like a journey for me. So it's not just the end result, it's a whole journey. As a live painter, I guess that's something that I get to give. So I imagine someone that I care about, that I love, being, I guess, in the dark, in the space, but that's not necessarily a negative thing. And this light, this energy coming down and being received by this person, their heart then igniting, receiving the energy, which then made them radiate and made them magnify that energy out again. New Year's Eve was a lovely night. I spent it with some really wonderful people. My friend is also an artist and he has his own bar, and there a live drawing session was held. One of my friends was one of the models. I continued my venture using ink, and so here she is. And there was another model, but I found it hard to really get into capturing all of her. I think that's because we warmed up much faster than we did the last session, so I didn't quite get into it the way that I did the first time. So instead, I zoomed in more in different parts of her body. So this one I actually quite liked. So her leg. I've been sick for a little while now, and I went to the doctors, and and I was not particularly impressed. So here is my little poem, me seeing the doctor. Blah, 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 blah. The money I paid did not go far. Is it this or is it that? I'll poke you here and there I'll pat. Don't drink beer. Problem solved. I'm already not drinking. This is not resolved. Well, I don't know. More guesswork? How about a test? Or is that berserk? Yeah, oh, a test. Let's give it a try. I've lost confidence. I'm off. Bye. In true freestyling fashion, I had no idea why I drew this one, but I did enjoy creating it. I felt like I was trying to keep it humble. On the little shoulder blades, shoulder pads, I have little buttons. That's what they are. For some reason. But I like the detail in the face and the neck, and I feel like it gives a bit more depth to the design. And I really feel like there's a character in there somewhere. Close up, very close up of a face. It's nice not always to have to draw the whole face, but sometimes explore components of it. I usually feel like my noses are quite bland. I don't really do a lot with noses. Occasionally there'll be little portals to space, but other than that, I don't venture too far or too crazy with noses. It would be nice to look at someday. This one again was just a freestyle, free flow, nothing really in my mind to express, but just allowing myself to develop something. And I really liked the little gems. I've just put gems all around the hair, in the earrings, between the lips, and I quite like that. And I really enjoy the double eyes as well. I love fire, quite expressive, and I quite like this face, yeah. This one was a conversation with someone. I found it very uplifting to talk to them. They were telling me about their passion, which was really nice. And so the ears, it was me listening, and it's like a butterfly, you know, it's light and uplifting conversation. I am listening. You have something to say. I'm glad I bumped into you on this chilly day, eating delicious food at a local vegan buffet. Can't wait until we meet again to hear your cosmic play. This one I was a little bit peeved. I was supposed to be collaborating with someone. They'd asked me to join them in one of their endeavors. I thought it would be a great and exciting thing to do because I love to collaborate more with people. I was happy to give my time, but not if it meant me putting in more work than the other person for that to happen. It happens, it's fine. We're all in different places at different times, and we can't always be aware of other people's situations. This one, just another image. I didn't feel like drawing a face. Here are these people with their heads hung low, but I feel like the two people are together and maybe they've gone through something together and need each other. This one I was totally just doodling out and I really enjoyed it. I thought there was something in it, and so I decided to keep going. And I started to develop this character and I really enjoyed it. I loved how I could use the space. I could take the limbs and fill up the space. On the first day I think I drew about 9 of this character. And I just kept going and kept developing. And I feel like it's not the same character, but I'm actually drawing a whole load of different people. The name that came up while I was creating this character, I was actually watching a series and there's a character named Monty, and I don't know why, but the name just kept striking me. It just kept popping out at me in a weird way. I'm like, Monty, Monty, why? Why is this name weirding me out somehow? And so Monty means full and to go all the way, and it also means mountain. So I'm thinking that maybe these are mountain folk. And definitely British, the pinky. So they're British mountain folk. I love the mountains. I'm definitely a mountain person, and I'm definitely British. So this being appears to have 3 Adam's apples, limbs that can contort and stretch in any fashion, certainly likes to be pointing with the pinky in the air, tends to have 3 fingers, so pinky, a forefinger and thumb, and possibly another finger, a single eye, which is representative of the 3rd eye, even though it only has 1 eye, except for in the cases where the nipples are eyes. So then it's a 3rd eye. Eye nipples. I also love the idea of this being not having a gender per se. People keep telling me that they see vaginas. I get it, but wasn't my intention at all behind it, but I seem to subconsciously draw vaginas a lot. This character that I've universally decided to call Monty does have a penis, but I also decided to give this character a vagina as well. So I feel like I can put this character in many situations. So for instance, I have one as a DJ because I was at a bar and I wanted to leave, but the DJ wouldn't let me. The music was good and I wanted to stay. So I stayed and I drew some more. Another one is earlier today, I was with a friend and I had a little cookie. We're out on a balcony at a coffee shop. And this cute little bird came up and grabbed a crumb. So I was like busy like picking little crumbs off and popped on the side and just letting this cute little bird come and grab the cookie. I feel so happy talking about it. I like the idea, as they do not have any other facial features other than the eye, that they communicate telepathically, and also that they communicate through their stomachs. So maybe they can show images on their stomach. They are perpetually pregnant. And I guess that perhaps represents me in my constantly being pregnant with creativity, constantly wanting to give birth to creativity. I never meant to actually draw breasts. I was drawing pecs in my mind, but other people are seeing breasts, and I don't mind to continue drawing them the way that I like to draw them. And people can see breasts or pecs however they like. The pot belly turns into this pregnant belly, and I like this idea of not worrying about the gender, but instead of it being completely genderless, having both genders in there. And this one, I was waiting for my breakfast. I was so hungry and there were a lot of people waiting. So this is me with my chopsticks waiting to eat. So I felt really inspired when I came home to create something with the oils. This character really inspired me, and I'm really happy to be able to start painting with oils and to find something that I feel I can just go straight to canvas with. And it's quite exciting to discover a new medium like this. And here's another one I started working on as well. I love to create beings that are blue. For me, that's kind of a default feeling when I create characters. But I thought it would be interesting to be able to use this character in different situations and to use whatever color seems to cool. So I would use color to express my emotions. So I thought, why not this being changes color depending on their emotions and their surroundings. This is of course a work in progress, as it's oils. This is the first layer. So I'm going to be working on top of that. So hopefully I'll have more to show you with these paintings next week. So that's what I'm going to be working on. There's a lot more creativity in the pipelines, but I will reveal that as it unfolds in my life. That's all for now. Thank you for joining me. See you next week. Bye.
This is my teacher. Goodbye. Bye bye. And